Hi, welcome to Tea Time on ATMC-TV. I'm Rebecca Albin, Executive Director for the First Tee of Brunswick County. Join us as we visit one of Brunswick County's finest golf courses each month, where we learn about the course and its layout and get updates on the newest golf fashion, golf fitness, and golf equipment. If you're ready, let's go. We're here with Gene Weldon, who is the Director of Golf for Thistle Golf Club. You've been here for about 5.5 years, is that correct?
2005, January, so about 5.5 years.
Great, great. And you're also a board member for the First Tee of Brunswick County.
I am. One of the best things that's ever happened to me. I love it. I really do.
Great. We are lucky to have you, and I'm sure we keep you busy between the First Tee and Thistle here, so thank you.
Rebecca, it would be nice if I was retired and could devote a little bit more time and energy to the board, but as long as they'll put up with my limited time, I'll gladly serve on it.
Great, great. Well, we'll keep you around for a little while.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you could, Gene, talk to us a little bit about Thistle, maybe some of the unique features that you have here at your golf course and your clubhouse in particular, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Well, thank you. We're a 27-hole facility. We opened in 1999, and actually it was 2000 before the third nine was opened. We do things a little bit differently here. We moved 3 years ago into this clubhouse. It's rather large, rather ornate, very Scottish in flavor. We have 7 fireplaces. We have 3 on the inside and 4 on the outside, 2 on the members deck. And we're a little unique. When we say we're semi-private, we definitely are. We do cater to our members. They have their own section, their own dining room, their own members room, which we're in now, their own boardroom, locker rooms, and then the public, we do have public play, and we have a beautiful pub with many flavors of beverages to partake of, and of course a pro shop and men's and ladies lounges. So they're well taken care of with nice decking space around the club. So it's the best of both worlds. The members have their section when they feel like a little peace and quiet, but it's so quiet out here at this facility. There's no road noise. We do utilize 12-minute tee times, which is unheard of anywhere pretty much, unless you go to Augusta or places like that. But we do the 12 minutes for a reason. It gives the golfers a chance to play a leisurely round of golf. It spaces the folks out. We're never overbooked. We're never overcrowded. On a full day, we'll still play this golf course in 4 hours and 15 minutes, sometimes 4.5 hours. There are exceptions, obviously, if you get a slow group, but normally you can come out and expect to play this golf course in around 4 hours with no problem.
And the leisurely, natural feel seems to be something that emanates throughout the entire facility. You can tell coming in that all of the natural scenery and the natural grasses are all built into the course, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
The landscaping is exceptional. We give credit to our superintendent, John Pridgeon, who I think has a segment on this show, so you'll get to know him a little bit better. But John is probably one of the main reasons that I took the job here. I was very fortunate being offered the job, and I jumped on it strictly because I knew I would never have to worry about course condition as long as Mr. Pridgeon was around.
Wonderful. That's great. You talked a little bit earlier about the deck, and you shared something interesting with us as we were walking in, that the deck is constructed without the use of any nails.
No, it's tongue and groove, and had two gentlemen, I think they were from Asheville. It took them forever to finish it, but it was well worth the wait. They did a beautiful job. And as you saw, we have gargoyles on the roof, and then we have a gargoyle that actually sits over the entrance to our main pub. And we kind of like to say it keeps the evil spirits out so we can sell the good spirits inside.
That's wonderful. Well, it definitely seems to be working. Out on the course specifically, are there any holes that you would call your signature hole here, or that when people get to the tee box, and I'm sure it's like this on all of them, but they are just in awe of the view? Actually,
we don't have any what we call signature holes. We're noted for the par fives. There are two, especially the one that comes right to the clubhouse, that are rather breathtaking with the vista that you have of the clubhouse coming in, and water the entire way down the left side. Then we have another par five that actually has two areas, wetland type area, that are protected. So you have to hit, if you're playing the men's tees, you have to hit over one with your first shot. You have to lay up short of it with your second shot, and then go over the next protected area with your third shot.
Wow.
So there are people that can hit it in two, but they're few and far between.
Okay.
I've hit it once, and that was when the fairways were a little bit new and got a little bit of roll.
Okay, great. Well, Gene, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for everything that you do for the golf community and for the youth here in Brunswick County.
My pleasure.
Thank you. So Gene, we're standing on number 7 on the Cameron course. Could you tell us a little bit about this hole and how we're going to have to play it today?
I'm going to let you hit driver. Since we're playing Captain's Choice today, I'm going to hit 3-wood and make sure we got one in play, hopefully.
Okay.
We have water on the left. The hole's going to play, I think I said about 355. And there's water all the way down the right side. The two lakes actually meet in front of the green, so it's one continuous lake. So we got water left, water right, and water in front of the green.
Wonderful. I'll see how it goes.
Hit it good.
Thanks.
Good ball.
Thank you. Great shot, Gene.
Thank you.
I think we'll be playing yours.
Oh, I got lucky. What can I say? Rebecca, we got it in good shape.
Great.
Looks like about 120 to the flag.
Okay, great.
Lead us off, relax, and just hit a good one.
All right.
Good ball. Might be a little long. No, good shot.
Thank you.
That's going to be embarrassing, playing your shot, not mine.
I don't know about that.
Come around a little.
Right. Come in. All right, good shot.
I'll be close. I'm not sure which one we're playing.
Let's go see.
Probably about 14 or 15 feet.
Okay.
You mark it, I'll get the flag.
right. So how do you think we're going to read this?
It's going to go right and left. It's going to be a little quick going down the hill. I'd play it about maybe 1.5 inches up on the high side there.
Okay. Well, let's see how it goes.
Put a good roll on it.
All right. Oh, a little fast.
A little less speed, that one goes right in the heart, I believe.
Go in. Oh, that's a great putt. Great roll.
You want to tap that in?
That's yours. You go ahead and finish that. Wonderful.
Oh.
Thank you, Gene.
Good
It was a
match, partner.
pleasure.
That was
I
fun.
appreciate it.
That
Thank
was
you very
fun.
much. We're here today with John Pridgeon, Superintendent of Thistle Golf Club. John, as we're coming out of the peak season here for you guys at Thistle and we're preparing to go into the really hot part of the summer in Brunswick County, could you talk to us a little bit about what you guys are going to do to your greens to make sure that they stay healthy as much as possible?
We're preparing to aerify them. It helps get us through the summer. It helps the drainage in the greens. It helps the air movement down into the soil and keeps them cooler. And we do it 3 times a year, and this will be our 2nd time this year.
Okay, great. When's the final time that you aerify?
We do them again in September around Labor Day. I always like to do them on the 3 holidays, but they wouldn't give me one of them. We like to do it February 14th, which is Valentine's.
Okay.
We like to do them Memorial Day and then Labor Day.
Okay, great. And I'm sure most golfers have seen the little plugs on the greens sometimes. That's the aerification process. And could you just talk to us about the piece of equipment and how you do that, or if it's manual?
We have 2 machines that we do it with. We do it with the Toro Pro Core, and they're walk-behind aerifiers. And this time of year, we're going with a 5/8 tine, which is a pretty good size. In September, we'll go with a 1/2 inch tine, and then in February, we'll go with a 3/8 tine. And this time of year, the greens are growing better, so we can get by with going with a 5/8 tine, and then we top dress them real heavy with sand to help fill the holes in.
Okay, and the smaller tines just make the greens a little more playable. They keep them rolling a little more smoothly.
A little more playable, and those time of year the greens aren't growing as much, so it takes them longer to heal.
Okay.
So the small tines is less disruptive to play.
Okay, great. Well, next time you're out and you see those little plugs, just know that the aerification process is to help keep the greens in shape, nice and healthy. John, thank you very much for your time and for everything you do here.
Yep.
We're here today with Dr. Lank from Coastal Integrative Health. Dr. Lank, thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming over.
Not a problem. We're going to talk today a little bit about a few of the common mistakes that golfers make that lead to lower back pain. Could you tell us about what we're going to talk about and then some of the exercises to take us through it?
Absolutely. We're going to talk about the #1 reason for lower back pain in the amateur golfer, and that's a reverse spine angle. So what we'll have you do, I'll have you demonstrate it, and then we'll kind of talk through it and go over the physical causes and how to correct them.
Okay.
So I'll have you step over here, and we're going to pretend that she's facing this way towards the target. Now during the reverse spine angle, if you want to go ahead and go into your backswing, you're going to see how she laterally flexes towards the target. This creates undue stresses and pressure on the lower back and the joints called the facets. There are 3 main causes for this in a golfer. It's either going to be a decreased hip mobility on the right hip, if you're a right-handed golfer, a decreased ability to separate between the upper and the lower body, and weak core strength.
Okay, great. So could you take us through some exercises that golfers could do to help prevent that?
Absolutely. The first exercise is called trunk rotation. All you're going to do is sit on a chair or a physio ball. This locks down the lower body and allows your upper body to move independently. and you just turn from side to side with a golf club across your chest. Do this for 3 sets of 10 to 12, and it's going to add that ability to separate, just like that. The next exercise is called hip windshield wipers. If you connect your fists just like this, you go on your back and put them in between your knees and open and close your legs, just like a windshield wiper. What this does is it adds hip mobility. 3 sets of 10 to 12, just like the seated trunk rotations. The next exercise is called a glute bridge with leg extension. This helps to build core strength that helps stabilize your spine during this swing. Just lay on your back, feet about shoulder width apart, bridge up, and extend your leg out. And back down. And then you want to hold that top portion for about 3 to 5 seconds.
Hello everybody, I'm Martin Sledds and I'm here at the Academy in Ocean Ridge Plantation. I've got myself here a most unusual apocalyptic situation here. It's almost like the aftermath of a hurricane. But I've recreated this to explain what procedure is and how we can go about this mess I have here. So we have a mixture of loose impediments and immovable obstructions. If you look at the natural items you tend to find in a bunker here, we've got pine bark, we've got some stones. In some positions, some places we'd have shells which would be indigenous to the area, pine cones, pine straw. And they're all the natural items we'd have here in a bunker. And a banana peel, believe it or not, is one too. We're not allowed to move them in a bunker situation here because it's a hazard. However, we can move the cans, the bottles, we have here a towel, and we've got a drinking cup. So, and a bit of paper. So I will move these out of the situation because we're allowed to do so. And when we do this, we're not allowed to improve our lie. So they're out of the equation for the moment. Now, as such, believe it or not, we have actually got to play this ball as it lies now. So as we take the club back, we're not allowed to interfere with anything. We're not allowed to touch it. And although it appears a bit bizarre, this pertains to an everyday situation. So if you go into a bunker and you've got a pine cone or a branch or a bit of straw, we're not allowed to ground our club and we're not allowed to hit anything. And we've just got to go about it, basically take our club back and play the shot. So I've highlighted here the unusual situations. The only questionable thing we have here is ice. This is man-made ice, and it's the only time we're allowed to move this is from a bunker. So we can actually remove this and take it away before we play our shot. It's the most unusual situation I've created, but it pertains to the day. So I hope this clarifies some issues for you, and hopefully you won't reach a situation like this too often. Thank you.
Hello, this is Jeff with Lori's Golf Shop, coming to you with Fairway Fashions. Today we have Candy over here sporting some June styles. Candy's wearing a visor, a Town Talk visor, that lets her hair breathe and feel the cool breezes. Over here we have an AUR, a new line at Lori's Golf Shop. AUR sleeveless performance fabric top. With these hot North Carolina days, this works really nice. It's nice and cool. You get a little bit wet, you get inside for a minute, it dries right off. We have a little skirt going on here that matches the top nicely. And we have some Gulfstream sandals. Comfy and attractive. Candy's showing off today a new zebra print Hunter golf bag. So some of the stylish bags that you can find at Lori's Golf Shop. Today I am wearing a nice soft straw cap, sun protective factors to go with my styling Hawaiian shirt. This shirt works really well on the course, in the clubhouse, or at the beach. So you can top it off with this beautiful straw hat. You can find these at Lori's Golf Shop.
Hello everybody, I'm Martin Sludds and I'm here at the Golf Academy in Ocean Ridge Plantation. What I want to talk about in this segment is pitching, basic pitching. And it's a very important part of the game. Too often I see people and they go off and they practice their driving and putting. And it's one part of the game that they tend to neglect. But it's an essential part of the game. Mostly we'll have maybe 6 to 8 pitches around. And the better players are expecting to get up and down more than 50% of the time. So it's important to have a good strength in your game and your pitching. And I'm going to explain here how we go about it. So for most pitch shots, this shot I have here today is about 50 yards, 55 yards. And for this shot I use an ordinary sand iron whose loft is about 56 degrees. And we've other wedges in the bag which I'll talk about later. But for this shot, I stand a little bit open to the target. Now the reason for this is quite simple. When we make a full golf swing, we wind to the top, we clear our legs and torso on the way down, and then we deliver the hands and arms. When we're playing a pitch shot of that length, we don't have the luxury of a big movement. So what we do is we presume the impact position by setting up slightly open, and we get into this position. So that's what I do before I set into the ball. So what I'm doing first, I'm standing slightly open, which will help presume this impact position. My stance is not as wide as a full iron shot, it's slightly narrower. My ball position is just roughly center of the stance. And I'm favoring my weight a little bit left. And what I do is I get my sternum slightly forward because I'm trying to set up a slightly descending blow. So in standing into a pitch shot, I position the ball more or less center of the stance. I'm standing slightly open, and my shoulders are very slightly open. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to control the swing with my body movement. So it's my shoulder turn basically back and through that's going to control the distance of the shot. So I'm going from here, and just to show you sideways on, it's a symmetrical movement. When I go back to roughly here, it'll go through the same length. When I go through a little bit shorter swing, it's through the same length. But the speed of the swing is controlled by the body movement. It's not a flicking of the hands and arms. I basically take the club back together and down. One important factor coming into this swing is that the club has to get quite vertical. And David Ledbetter's got a lovely exercise where he splits his hands like this, and it allows you to set the club roughly in the angle it's going to go. So you set it like that, and we get quite sharp in the ball coming down, and it gives us speed and momentum by doing that. So basically we turn the shoulders, set up to the ball, turn the shoulders and control the speed with our body. Now, I've got a number of golf clubs in my bag that will allow me control the shot, and depending on the ground topography you have, where you've got, you know, an uphill shot with a green that's raised, or you want to hit into the wind or whatever. I've got 4 wedges in my bag here, and there's roughly 4 degrees between each club. So I've got a pitching wedge 48, an intermediate wedge which is 52, my ordinary sand iron which is 56, and a lob wedge of 60. And I'd urge you all to get clubs with separation like this in your bag. It will give you a full variety of shots in your bag. And what I've done here, which is something that the great Dave Peltz suggested, is I've actually put distances on the back of the club here. And I can make 3 swing lengths, and I've got 85, 65, and 45 yards. So what I would suggest you do is practice with your various wedges, pace out the shots you play, and then you'll have an idea of how long you hit each club. And then you'll have all the shots you want in the bag from roughly 70 or 80 yards in. And I hope this will help you with your wedge game. Okay, thank you.
One of the things that the First Tee of Brunswick County is so grateful for is the amazing support that we have from our affiliate golf courses in the county, which is essentially every single course here in Brunswick County. Could you talk to us a little bit about the player card and how these courses have gone above and beyond this year?
Rebecca, I think we have every golf course in Brunswick County on the card this year, which is a big increase from last year. Just to talk about the card just a little bit, it's for the residents of Brunswick County. It's a way to give back to them for supporting what we do at the First Tee, and the golf courses along with that are being very supportive by allowing us to use their facilities for a very reasonable rate. The card is year-round, and it sells for $100, and you have to be a resident of Brunswick County. You have to have a valid Brunswick County driver's license, and it all came about as a way for the golf courses to give something back to the community for what they do for our kids at the First Tee.
Wonderful, and we're talking about a $100 donation, which covers the cost to purchase the card. That goes back immediately to the First Tee of Brunswick County, and then the holder of the card, as a Brunswick County resident, is able to play, I believe it's 27 courses in the county for $25. Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm not sure of the number. I thought it was closer to 30, but anybody can figure out the value there because the card is year-round. It's a 48-hour notice card. They can actually use it in season, but it's at the discretion of the club at that time. If we have an open tee time here at Thistle in the middle of April and it's within 48 hours, we'll let the folks that have the card use it. It's obviously going to be easier to use during the off season, but from what I understand, we're getting quite a good bit of it during the middle part of the season, which is great. It's a fill-in for us, and again, the bottom line is it raises a lot of money for the kids in Brunswick County for the First Tee program.
Wonderful. Well, again, we're very appreciative to all of the courses in Brunswick County who support our program and to all of the wonderful volunteers that we have here. So, Gene, thank you for your help with the player card and everything you do for us.
My pleasure, dear.
Thank you. We're here with Bailey Watts, who's an Eagle participant for the First Tee of Brunswick County. Bailey, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. If you could, you've been a participant for the First Tee of Brunswick County for 4 years now, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Could you tell me a little bit about what your favorite part of being in the First Tee is?
Well, right now I'm in the Eagle class, so we get to go with the coaches and play at a par 3 course. And the other week we went and played it, and we played against the coaches, and I like that a lot because, I mean, it gives me a chance to play, and it's friendly competition.
Wonderful, and we have some really good coaches. Could you tell me a little bit about what you've learned from our coaches and what they helped to teach you?
Well, I started golf not knowing a thing about it, and just from being here for the 4 years, I've actually gotten pretty good, and I know pretty much all the rules.
Wonderful. And the First Tee, obviously we help teach the game of golf, but we also teach core values and life skills. Can you tell me what your favorite core value or life skill that you've learned is?
My favorite core value would have to be judgment, because without judgment, you're probably not gonna turn out that good, because judgment determines how you act. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have good judgment, you also can't figure out which club you need to use for each hole.
Wonderful, and that's something you can use in life too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you plan on sticking in the First Tee program as long as you can?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Wonderful, Bailey. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this month's episode of Tee Time on ATMC-TV. We'd like to thank Thistle Golf Club, Director of Golf Gene Weldon, and Superintendent John Pridgeon for helping us out today. Also, would like to thank the First Tee of Brunswick County participant Bailey Watts for being with us. Don't forget to tune in next month when we visit another of Brunswick County's finest golf courses. And also, don't forget, if you're a Brunswick County resident, you can buy your player golf card still by calling 910-754-5288. Thank you.